In this video, we will be discussing the visualisations, inquiries, and the production bomb and routing enhancements that have been included as part of the Clever Manufacturing Plus app. First, let's navigate to the manufacturing setup page where we can see that a number of additional fields have been added to assist with version visibility. On the manufacturing setup page, a new fast tab has been added for views, within which 3 new fields have been added. The first of which is for the production bomb view, which contains 2 options. The original production bomb means that when viewing production bombs, you will always see the original version of that bomb on the front page. Selecting active version means that once a new version of the bomb is created, instead you will see those bill of materials when you open the production bomb rather than the original version. We then have the exact same options for production byproducts view and routing view, meaning that we can either see the original production byproducts or the original routing, or we can use the active version option, which will always show us the active version of the byproduct or the routing upon initially opening that page. Let's have a look now to see how that will change the pages. I'm just going to take a look at a routing card just to give you an idea of how this works. I am now in one of my routing cards. And as you can see, the page does now look slightly different to what we've come to expect with standard routing cards. Firstly, as you can see, there is now an active version fast tab, which tells us the version that we're currently looking at, whether it is serial or parallel routing, what the status of the version is, and the date from which the routing has started and therefore will begin to be used. As we've chosen to display the active version rather than the original version of the routing, when I scroll down, all of the lines on this front page will match the active version of the routing. Additionally, looking in the fact box on the right hand side of the page, we can also see that there is now a fact box that has been added, which breaks down the versions that are available against this particular routing. Also, whilst I'm here, I'm just going to open up the diagram fast tab, which is a new fast tab that is added as part of Manufacturing Plus, which gives us greater visibility over the operational steps of this particular routing. We can see the machine centres that are involved in the operational steps, as well as the setup, runtimes, and if any routing link codes have been assigned to them. It's also possible to expand this diagram out by selecting the focus mode option within the fast tab, which makes the diagram much more easily visible. Additionally, from the routing, it is possible to select analysis. This will show us a comparison between the routing setup time that is on the routing card and how much time has actually been used when this routing has been used as part of our production orders. We can see each of the operational lines, the setup, the routing card time versus what has actually been used, and also the differences in those times, both in an actual number as well as the percentage and a deviation. Moving across, we can see the same again, this time for run time and for wait time. Coming all the way down, we can then see a chart which shows us a comparison between the routing setup time and the actual time that has been posted against the production orders. Additionally, if I select runtime, I will see the same breakdown again, but this time for the runtimes. Now I'm going to navigate to a production bomb card so that we can see the changes that have been made there. Now I'm in a production BOM card, and as you can see again we have the active version much like we did on the routing card, and that means that when I scroll down I'm seeing the lines for the active version of this particular production BOM rather than the original version. Additionally, I see information on the active version. I can see the active version code, the unit of measure, the status of the active version, the starting date, after which I can then begin to use this active version on my production orders, and the last date that the BOM has been modified. Coming down, I then see my active version production BOM lines, and I have a new fast tab for diagram, which shows me a breakdown of all of the components that are to be used on this particular BOM. Selecting focus mode, as you can see the diagram is now easier to view, and if this is a multi-level BOM, I will also be able to select multiple levels and see the additional components that will be required in order to make one of these components available for this particular production BOM. Stepping back a second, back onto the production BOM card now, and I also have analysis here where I can see my quantities versus the actual quantities that have been consumed against my production orders, therefore providing me with an actual quantity difference as well as a percentage of this quantity difference. Coming down, it then also breaks these numbers down into a nice chart for me so I can see the quantity pairs versus the actual average quantities. Another feature of Manufacturing Plus is the addition of the production status timeline. This page provides visibility of your production schedule using actual routing times. This can also work alongside the Clever MES solution so that you can see updates being provided in real time from the shop floor. The production status timeline includes the following features. It allows you to see your planned and actual start and finish times for each production order. You can see the progress of each manufacturing process. You can filter production orders to refine your view to your requirements, and you can identify any delays in your schedule. Please note that the production status timeline is not compatible with routings that utilise the sender head quantity. So as we can see, I have a number of planned production orders on the screen, which show me when they plan to start and end. I can also select Show Document from here, which will take me to that planned production order. So this is a nice visualisation just to see how I'm getting on with my production orders and if any of the dates need to be moved, if one or more of the operations has overrun. Another feature that has been added as part of Clever Manufacturing Plus is the ability to see a chart for our machine centre load. From the machine centres list, if I select Related, Machine Centre and Load, I can see the lines which is standard. However, now when I scroll down, I also see the chart which shows me the allocated quantity. So I can see the available quantity with my line. And I can also see how much has been allocated. So if this bar was to get particularly high, it might be a note to myself that I might need to start moving around the load of this particular machine centre. And the final enhancement that has been added as part of Manufacturing Plus can actually be found within the fact box of the released production order. Upon opening the fact box, we can now see there are many more pieces of information. For example, we can see the starting and ending date times of the line that has been highlighted, the due date, and also the current operation of this production order. Therefore, where is it within the routing steps? Selecting Show Progress. I can see what's happened, so I can see that currently I'm on operation 1. However, now because the date has passed, I can see that I've now fallen behind, hence why my machine centers have turned red, which is just letting me know I am not going to meet any of the starting and ending date times for the next lot of machine centers. So as you can see, there are plenty of enhancements that have been included as part of Manufacturing Plus, which should make your manufacturing process now much more streamlined and contained within Business Central.